Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Gillie.
Hi, Wanjiku.
I don't know how people know you, other people that are out there, but me, I've known you as Gillie for a long time.
Yes.
So thank you for appearing in this show.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ecobiz show. We do this every Monday, and we are happy to have you.
Happy to be here too.
I've known you for a long time,
Yes.
and I don't want to give the wrong introduction. So tell people whether you're Mzee Msiri, or you're Gillie, or Gilbert.
I was born Gilbert, Victor, Owino, Origi. And but my mom called me Gillie, and my dad called me Gillie, and everybody called me Gillie, where I grew up in Nairobi. And when I went to school, everybody called me Gillie, even the teachers called me Gillie. So if you come to, even home now, home square, where I'm from, Kisumu County, if you ask for Gilbert, you'll be told, you'll be given other people, maybe the boys will be named after me, or Gilbert. Not me. Right.
So
Or,
when I find it odd to call you Gilbert, when you said you're Gilbert, I'm thinking, yeah, I know you as Gillie.
Yes,
Gillie
I'm
should be
Gillie.
like you for sure. Yeah, but on the birth certificate you say there are more names.
yeah, the phone names. No, the Origi was discarded at some point. So it's just Gilbert Victor Owino.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So I don't know, I wanted to ask why it was discarded at some point, but let me not ask that one for
You
now.
can ask. Okay, let's move on.
So we are interested to have a talk with you, and I know everybody would be, because we've seen you a lot on Pete,
Yes.
because you act there on screen. I've also known you to act on stage. Tell us more about that industry.
The industry. I'm happy that the industry is taking off very well in Kenya. I've been there for 40 years plus, and it's been a long journey.
I think it deserves 40 years, deserves Ngota.
I have
Ngota.
lifetime achievement award.
Sana. Yeah, that's what.
Wow. Wow.
2018.
Wow.
The same year that the late Prince Ridwan also received his. So I was very happy and glad that I was able to get mine. I was still breathing.
Wow.
So that was
It's
a
an
big
honor.
achievement.
Yeah.
Felt honored.
Excellent.
Thankful.
More about, and I also know you're an accountant trained.
That one, we're talking about acting now.
So we go to acting.
Yeah, but I'm an accountant, yes.
Yes, you know I'm also an accountant.
Of course.
And there's something I was going to tell you,
Tell me.
that at your age,
Yes.
when I'm your age,
Yes.
I also want to be acting. So I need a tip from you. But tell us more about the industry first.
Okay. Then that's me. I'm actually a stage actor. I love the stage more than the screen, because it's more realistic what you're doing. There's a live audience, and you make a mistake, go with it. But in the screen, you make a mistake, and no, let's take that again. So eventually what you see is not really what I can give you, because we have taken 20 times, so maybe I had 10 or so mistakes. That can happen.
Yeah.
But stage, when the curtains open, you are there with the audience, you alone. So our directors normally tell us that when you're rehearsing, that when those curtains open, I won't be there.
The director will be.
It tells you,
Yeah.
I won't be there, it is you. So this is your show. And if you find me being hard on you, it's because I'm trying to help you. You don't make a fool of yourself. Because people are paying money to watch you perform. You don't want to go and see messes. In fact, the audience doesn't want you to make a mess. When you're sitting there, no, don't make a mess. So if maybe you disappoint them when you mess up. So I like the stage for that challenge of like 1-2 hours you're there and everything is in your head. For screen, you break and you look at the script again, and then you can see, and then chunks, small chunks. The stage, if it's 2 hours, it's 2 hours. You're there for 2 hours. Having said that, it takes training. You have a bit of natural talent. You have to have a bit of that. But if you don't train, if you're not trained, then you will not be a good actor. Now, the other thing is that being a stage actor gives you now the confidence to be a very good screen actor. And most screen actors who get Oscars are stage actors originally. And in fact, they're very happy when they get a stage role at some point. Even me, I'm very happy when I get a stage role. Even now, I'm thinking of a stage, maybe end of this year or next year. So to go back and get the feel again that we're not even running, because when the curtains open, it's you don't get that on camera.
You sound like you're already acting, Gillie.
No, I'm just
I'm watching you play.
I'm just being me.
This is a screen. This is a stage now.
Yes.
Interesting. So you talk of training. So when did you start acting, or maybe what is that motivated you to get into acting?
It's a long story. As we were growing up, television was rare. In fact, I think when I was born, that was just when television was coming into Kenya. I was born in 58, and I think television came in either 58, 59, 60. So there are very few sets, and we used to go and watch series in the social centers. So like, in the estates, there would be a social center with one screen, so everybody in the evening would go. And it was only in the evening that these things were being shown. So we would go and watch cartoons, and then there was a day that they brought the 10 Commandments. And I'll never forget what I saw. It was that actor, I think it was named Charlton Heston. So Charlton Heston played Moses. I thought he was playing God, because Moses was like God with that 10 Commandments. It was very powerful. I've lived with that even up to today. And then later we had now the soaps, what are now called soaps. There was one called Bonanza, Cowboy, that was Cowboy. And then there was somebody called Michael London, very good actor. Later in Little House on the Prairie and many other movies that he did. But I love the boy, so I wanted to be like Michael London. You know?
Wow.
Tough guy. Later on in life, of course, the James Bonds came, and Sean Connery, very good actor also. That's one. I'm talking about my heroes,
yes,
the people
yes.
that gave me, brought me to this career. There Will Be Conspiracy, in Nairobi, 1974 or 5. I was in high school there, I think from 3, from 4. They were looking for extras, so that was my first star.
That's very common. It's very common.
The first starring role.
Yeah.
They came to school and picked up a few of us. It was set in South Africa, but they just took a street in River Road, Nairobi, and converted it into an Indian bazaar in South Africa. And that's where we were. That was my first role, 1974, 75 there. So Sidney Poitier went on to win an Oscar. The first African. So that was to me, like, I want to be like this man. There's this Freeman, what's his other name? This old man. What's his name? The one with the deep voice. This one is Freeman who okay. Old man forgets sometimes. But that's my hero. I want to be that man. When his age, I want to be like him.
How old is he now?
I don't know. You can Google. But he's an old man. He has an earring here. Originally Jamaican, but now he's in America.
Oh.
Very powerful. One of the most powerful actors you can get. Yes.
It's amazing how everybody has a story of where they started and who really inspired them.
Yes. Now, look at now, Kenya. We had the Mbugas, the Kenneth Watenes, we had the Olocho Buras, John Sibio Kumu, we had and Sidi Mbuga. Yeah, those people.
Yeah.
Those were now our heroes those days. And when my first role, my first audition at the Kenya National Theatre, I had stage fright. But because I'd been given a very moving poem to read, I was reading it, and then somehow my feet started moving. And the hands first of all, I was trying to hide so that people don't see me. And my voice was quivering. So when the thing became too much, I went down. It was now to hide this shaking when I on my knees. I didn't stop reading. Yes, I didn't stop reading. And the voice was quivering. The guys out there were saying, "Wow, what a..." Standing ovation. So my career started. So I know even stage fright is good.
It's okay.
It's
You never know why you
It can
use
give me a job.
Yeah.
Give me a job. Muntu's first son. The play called Muntu. The first son of Muntu. I played that role.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. This is very exciting and hilarious. Very interesting.
Yeah, then Little Theatre Club when I came now to Mombasa. I joined Little Theatre Club in 1984. So that's where now I went into acting. Not full time because I was an accountant, was working for the government first, and the Chinese government, and the shipping company, and blah blah blah. But any free time I had, I would be at the theatre. Every evening I would be at the theatre, and I was treasurer there before you.
Wow.
1990, 89. So you're just following my footsteps.
I tell you.
Maybe you'll be a good actor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Little
Anyway.
Theatre Club. And now, yeah.
Yes,
acting.
I was treasurer there 1989, 19, around those areas. So there was a play we did, Ipi Ntombi, 1986. It's a South African musical. That was fantastic. In fact, it was like something from where? Not Kenya. It was in Kenya. I remember there was a time I was at the Navy. The officers of the Navy, and it was showing. It was KBC, and it was recorded by KBC. Then I told them, "Wait, that's us." They said, come on, it's not you." I said, "It's us." So even they would see me there, but they say, no, that's not you.
Unbelievable.
Because we had the costumes we were wearing. But then at the end, when the credits were rolling, Gillie Owino. I told you.
Very exciting.
So we took the play to Nairobi, and that play, even today, if you bring it on stage and you're 100 years old, you're 2 years old, you're 3 years old, it will captivate you. It's a very good thing. So when you do those kind of plays and you relive them, so that you can't be bored. You have so many characters inside you, so many memories inside you that you're always alive to something. And then every day you come into situations, it reminds you of something that happened. And this is why artists they're not liked. They can read you because they have seen it, and they have read it, and like that.
They have acted it.
They have acted it. Yeah. So I've looked at that, and you see when you get into a role, you study that role, and you want to live that role. So I understand a doctor because I want to really want a doctor. No, that's a doctor before I can now go and pretend to be a doctor. Even in Funzi, we had to go and talk to the Musiri in Funzi, the actual Musiri.
Oh.
Yes. To get to know what is it involving. Okay, some of those things we can do, but you get insight into what this person is.
Yeah.
So that when you go and depict that person now, you look real.
Yeah.
Because acting is really not acting, it is, what is it called? It is presenting a situation truthfully. Yeah.
Representing a situation
truthfully. You have to be true to what you're doing. If you want to die truthfully. You see, some people just die. Oh, dead. No. You must. How do people die? When somebody is shot, especially, like that. That's when now you see when there's reality, when people are not done their research. You should poop, poop. Then I just go, oh. It can happen like that, but you look at real situations when people are shot, what happens? How do they fall? So you must go and check. Because when you now act, you know that this is going to fall. If you're drinking and the cup is empty, let's say miming, and this is tea, and you got to, you burnt your face. People drink like this, but you see people acting, they do this. So it's those kind of things that you must be
the truth.
The truth. If I'm drinking this now, I will not.
Be real.
You see what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
I've done. It looks real. That's what you do.
Yes.
Let's move on.
We are learning. I don't know what to say now, but it's a very interesting place. I think even as you speak about it, it's like therapeutic. Acting is therapeutic. The way you say it relieves you.
Stress.
Yeah. And I even like the way you're saying you're an accountant and during your free time, it was like your hobby.
Yes, it was a hobby, but eventually it's become my main profession now.
Yeah.
Because before we were doing it as a hobby and we were not being paid for it. Like we get an amateur club, so we were not paid anything. It was for the fun of it, and that's why we're taking a second job. But now that this industry is paying, and thanks to the new players, Multi-Choice and whoever else, we are able now to give dignity to the industry, because usually it's only unafanya kazi ya wakora. So now there's dignity in this, and even your daughter, your son, you can see go to that profession.
Yeah.
To the dignified profession. And also I like the new crop of filmmakers. They are very how do I say, instructive in what they're doing. That's not even the word. For the word. They're innovative. Yeah, they're innovative. Like my boss, Daudi Amuka, that's a very sharp boy. He's going far.
Yeah.
But we saw him when he was handling with Hillary. Boy.
When he was young.
Yeah, when he was struggling,
He was
starting. Little theater club, they would come and do this and this and this. We have interacted even those days. He would come and ask questions and this and this. But he was good. The first shots I saw him with the kind of camera he had, they were beautiful. Now I said, this boy gets equipment. He's proved it. Because I don't think anybody is. And then he takes risks. He's a risk taker. Pete, what you do in Pete, I would not dare to. I would be scared to death. Sometimes are you serious to do that? We take shots in Nani, Magicule, we go, and those cameras, maybe they cost in 5 million there, and if somebody's carrying that and going there, you're going to know, it can go in the water, finished. He takes those kind of risks.
Yeah.
Have you seen like those two scenes where somebody is jumping from here and there?
I have.
But you have to be that to get that kind of quality that he wants.
Wow.
He does not take shortcuts. No.
And Pepe is
whatever he does is done real. So that one, even the other people like now, the Selena team, and then everybody, they're doing a very good job. So Tanzania is already cheating. They can't reach where we are already. Nigeria should watch out. Because Kenyans we have this habit of when something is good, we all run there. If it is quail eggs, we all go for quail eggs. It is but now, when people realize that this industry, there's something that can be gotten from this industry, they will not be buying Uganda anymore.
No. The plots and the movie.
They'll be coming for this, and that's why I'm seeing that new jobs are coming, a lot of good jobs. The other thing is this content, the local content. The rule that we must have local content. So it's forcing all these stations to air. And there's no content. So even if you want to invest, so many actors don't have jobs.
Yeah.
Just to invest and we program for the other stations.
Mombasa, as far as the entertainment and the art industry is concerned, is flying high.
Mombasa is the center, East and Central Africa. It is the center, not Nairobi, not Kisumu. Mombasa is.
And my joy is to see mine. Actually, this is sometimes even personal. And I think, even for a long time ago, that even at the time we were at FTC,
yes,
is to see the artist enjoy some good income for what they do. Because it really doesn't matter what I do with my talent or my occupation. It should be, I could be in art, but that shouldn't be a problem. But then, is the industry now able to support these artists? I mean, what would you say from your personal experience, Gillie? From the time we didn't have to have two jobs, because acting is one, and then like a side hustle, and then you have a main job, and now you're fully into acting. Can you call this an occupation that is supporting you and supporting your family?
Yes, it is. The only problem with that is, and this one, since I'm telling you, all artists outside there, manage your money, manage your funds. And if you cannot manage, get a manager. Because we artists, we're very generous. very, very generous. And sometimes you're forced,
Emotional.
sometimes you're, maybe that's a word, but also sometimes you're forced to be generous because people look up to you and you're there, you have. So even if you're suffering, they don't know. That's that you have. So you want also that feel good thing. You don't want to disappoint them.
It's acting.
So you also act.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it acting.
It's very consistent. We continue acting. True reflection.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But so what we need to do is to get a sober person to control your finances. It could be your wife or your husband, that's also there.
Yeah.
Or you could just get a manager. But also in this industry, you don't have people who are willing to do this. And if they are there, most of them will run away with the money.
Yeah, there's also
Yeah,
that.
but we need there's a gap there. We need people who should come in. And now, even if it's a company, we are going to manage artists. We need those kind of people. I need those people myself.
Yeah.
First of all, like I don't have the time to go and look for a job because like now I'm full time in Pete. There could be a job happening somewhere else. Like last year we went to Italy. I was lucky because I saw an audition call. I went for it, and they took me there. I missed another one in Nigeria because now I can't run away from Pete to go to Nigeria.
Yeah.
This is homegrown.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. There might be more money in Nigeria, but to be like few months you're back. But I would rather get that thing here than go to Nigeria. Yeah.
I get it, but what I also get is that even for you to be able to seek for help in terms of to get that manager for yourself, wealth management and money management, you must also admit you have a problem.
Yes.
Maybe it's only coming from the managers to see these guys have a problem. So even if we keep singing that you guys, this is the vehicle you need to use here, so that in 2 years, in 3 years, this is how far I shall get. You don't realize you have a problem. Think it's me who is coming probably to sell, and I think that has been a challenge. Even when we come to sell Ecobiz Sacco, we look like we are the ones who are.
That's what I was coming to tell you.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you that
Yeah.
you know you're unique. You see a need and you go there to address that need.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you there's another need. We need managers.
Again.
Yes, we need managers.
And
So somebody should come there and sell that idea that I can manage you, I can do this.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. Like I can take care of your social media accounts and do this and do that and do that. You don't have the time for all that. So if you offload that to a manager, it will release you now to put your maximum effort into what you're doing.
Yeah. And you create value, even you charge
Of
for
course.
some good value, because
Of course.
if you have a manager who is doing some things for you, then you're paying them, for instance. So it means you're also an institution.
Yes.
Yes, as an actor.
And most of us don't know our value.
Okay,
That's why we are paid anything. I just give you exposure. So if you have a manager, you will not be the one negotiating. The manager will negotiate because it's for you. So you don't worry about the finances. You want to go and just do what you do.
Wow. There are a lot of tips that I know people have picked from what you have been able to share. I didn't even have to ask you questions clearly, Gillie, because you have offered to tell us so much. I think you also know what the industry requires.
Yes.
But maybe in a nutshell, 1 or 2, 3 things. What is that you'd like to tell artists out there? Now that you have been there for a long time. Like the 3 don'ts. Do not attempt to do this, like 3 of them.
I'll give them maybe 1. Then maybe you can add. The one is this. I will start by saying that athletes can be the best in the world. But if you see those athletes training, if you see them training, it is they what you call it, punish the bodies to get where they are. Musicians practice every day, and then practicing every day to be good musicians. If it is sculptors, you find them, artists, you find them, you find artists, you find them drawing, even the ones who do acrobatics, you find them rehearsing every day. Dancers rehearse their dances. But the actor is a star. I'm an actor. You cannot be a star if you do not improve your skills. So you must go for training, workshops, even YouTube, there are a lot of tips that you can get there. So, and this is what makes you a good actor. Not because you're born a good actor. You can become a good actor, but you will remain there. Because the first fame you get will kill you, because nobody will tell you anything. What I'm telling you is, never start. That's what I'm saying. I'm still learning today. I make mistakes. Sometimes I realize, I've been making this mistake all these years. So, but it's something I've learned today. The other thing is you forget things that you were taught. So you have to keep on reminding yourself every time that, okay, this is not that. Because if you get to your comfort zone, you start behaving like that. Like now I'm doing Siri. If I'm not careful, I'll just be going there and sitting and doing something. So I wake up and say, hey, am I doing the right thing? So let me go and watch myself. Watch and see what am I doing. I've been discovering that there's some moments I'm flat. So I'm very conscious of that. If I just sleep on it, I will become. So I try and find what can you do that will
improve the character.
Improve that character. Yeah. So that's what I want them to do. Keep on improving.
There's a book, I don't remember the titles, but I've read it. It talks about the 10,000 hour rule. You just
teach me.
Yeah, it's about the input. It's the same thing you're talking about.
Okay.
You have to put in hours.
Yeah.
Such that by the time you're seeing a chef or a musician doing so well, you don't know the work behind the scene.
Yes.
And that is exactly what you're telling them.
Yes.
So every day should be a day of improvement. So there's another thing you've also said about like reflection. Like you guys seem to you need to keep reflecting all the time. Who am I and what do I want? Because you have characters. The one character today and another one tomorrow until you can easily forget who was I anyway. So that reflection is very important. And for me personally, what I do, if I can share, and I'm not even in the industry of acting, is that I journal. I journal a lot.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
as an artist.
Yeah.
Even these days, like I used to work. I still do. I always walk around with a pen, and but now, in the phone you can
save. Yes.
You can save. So anytime I have these notes here, every day, anytime I see something, or I wake up and there's an idea, it's there.
Before you forget.
So I forget. So when I do that, they're there.
Yeah, you have to be deliberate about what you
Yes.
want to do, and if you want to do it better,
Yes.
I mean, you just have to keep growing it, keep growing.
And also admire your competition, respect your competition, learn from your competition.
Don't hate them.
No.
Don't hate them.
No.
Don't catch when you see them succeed.
No.
Don't catch feelings.
In fact, if they grow, you grow.
They do.
Yes.
Actually, we say you are in the queue. So when you're mbele yako akitangulia, you also unasonga, si ndio? Unasonga. So I think we should be happy for one another.
Yeah.
And now, Gillie, as we close,
Yeah.
tell us what you know about Ecobiz. When did you join? Because I'm sure people would like to hear why the connection between me and you now.
Ecobiz, not Little Theatre.
Not at least beyond Little Theatre.
Beyond Little Theatre.
Yes.
Yeah, Ecobiz it's something that in our industry, for instance, we don't have permanent jobs. We have contracts. So Saccos are for people who are together, like they work in the same place and it's a long time, something, so that you can then be able to guarantee each other. It is a family. So also the artist is also a family, but they keep on moving and sometimes there's no job. So how do they save? We don't. So I'm very happy that you wrote this thing up, that you can save even 20 bob today, as it comes. So it is that culture of saving that Ecobiz will teach us. And even me, actually I'm enjoying that now. I can say,
You can ask for your statement.
I can ask my statement.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. There's a pride in of asking for, there's something for me.
Yes, and the pride of that, and I can come when I'm in that, if I want assistance, you'll be able to assist me because of that partnership that we have. And when you guarantee each other, you look after each other. And of course, I would not want to disappoint my colleagues. So when we come are they clusters? I don't know what we call them, clusters
It's like clusters.
Like clusters, but
yeah.
people, like if we are 10 of you together, you know each other very well. So you can vouch for each other, you can stand in for each other like that. That's a very good idea we're going to start. And this saving culture, once it goes there, these artists will definitely improve. Yeah. There's a lot that is happening, especially during this COVID time, that is so so stressful. It's killing us. It's killing us. Artists are going through hell. So, see people are depressed. See people are. So we should go out. In fact, now especially, we should go out and see what can be done to them. There are stories like what's happening now about let's not mention names, but there's so much of that. That people have gone through a lot, and we need Ecobiz to be able to cushion us when these kind of situations happen in the future.
Yeah, because I always say that when you're a member, you're different from a client. When you're a member of Ecobiz, you're a member. There's the sense of belonging. So I mean, we will not even allow some things to get out of hand, because also even when we don't know, we called upon you like, hey, you're one of us. You partake, and I mean, yeah, it's my hope.
And the fact that you follow up. Controlling, saying, how are you?
Yeah. Somebody is reaching out to you.
Reaching out to you. Have you done this? Why didn't you do that?
There's that accountability piece
so that it makes you also grow up.
We grow up,
Yeah, in the what do you call it? The financial.
In the financial space, we also grow up, and I think our growth is supposed to be holistic.
Of course.
Yeah. So even financial bit we cannot run away from it, whether you're an artist, an accountant, or whatever.
Yeah, that is financial intelligence.
Yeah.
So I would encourage artists to join Ecobiz or any other circle that they can. But Ecobiz, because you have the Msanii component, which is very attractive. I would urge them to come and find out what it is, and if they like the idea, they join.
Probably think we are the only circle that have come to visit you in Funzi.
The only one is definitely.
Yeah. So, we can pride ourselves in that. So,
actually, there are people even from Nairobi who've been if you ask Rose, you tell you people from Nairobi. Some of them have joined, I think.
Yeah, they have. We have members from Funzi.
So
we don't have a big number. I think we have over 20.
Over 20, that's good. I want to see more.
Yeah.
So next time you have maybe a general meeting, we come there and sit there, call us.
Of course. And we are renting for one AGM soon.
Okay.
It's really come. We don't want to skip the year even with COVID.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you, Gillie, for sharing your insights today. We are happy to have you as our guest, and I know even the audience here have loved to. I mean, are excited to have you here. Maybe they look at you, they admire you, they say, well, just a little bit more. So I'm happy that you've also been able to open up and tell us what it is.
Asante.
So I think the next time you come,
yes,
you touch on your family that I know.
Okay,
I know. But for now, it's all right. We just want to thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Asante sana.